All, welcome to my lecture on intellectual property rights. Over the decades, the scope of the subject of intellectual property and related rights has been expanded and grown to a great extent. Now it plays greater role in global economy and resulted in many international agreements and treaties around this subject matter. In this series, I will be dealing with the concepts of intellectual property, IPR, what actually IPR is, and then term of patent. Patent is a form of IPR, one of the forms of IPR. So we will touch upon what exactly the patent is, and then Patent Act 1970, Indian Patent Act 1970. In the coming days, we will also cover trademarks, geographical indications, cyber security, copyright, protection of plant variety and farmers' right, biological diversity law, design laws, and various international treaties and agreements. So, thus, I'm planning to cover entire IPR 1 and IPR 2 syllabus of various law universities in India. So let's start our journey with brief introduction on IPR and then patent, which is one of the critical IPR or critical form of IPR. As I stated earlier, IPR has occupied critical place in the ever-changing modern business world. The current modern business world is characterized by innovation, new design, and global operations. Every customer every day looks for new designs, new innovation, new innovative technology products, and businesses are not restricted to local areas. It is a global. So innovation, designs, and global business are very common characteristics of a modern day business. And under this complex business situation, it is very difficult to protect intellectual property rights. So what does IPR means, intellectual property right means? So before getting into that, what exactly the IPR is, let's find out the meaning of what is property, and then what is intellectual property, and then what is intellectual property rights. Okay, IPR. So let's start our journey with property, understanding the meaning of property here. Any property, if for example, if you have a house or if you buy a mobile, you will get certain rights on that property. For example, if you have a house, you can stay in that house or you can sell that house, you can improve that house. So many rights you are going to get it. So in that background, the term property signifies the subject matter on which the right of ownership or any less right carved out of the ownership is exercised. So it is a subject matter. For example, we have took a house on which right of ownership. So if I am a owner of the house, so I will be having the rights of ownership. What is the rights I will get as a owner? I can sell, I can improve that building, I can lease out, or I can earn anything else from that house, or finally I can, if at all I not want to live there, I can destroy it. Right? So I have a complete ownership. Or not only that complete ownership, what it this line says here, any less rights carved out of this entire bundle. Sell, improve, lease, earn interest or earn revenue or a destroy. Enter out of these rights, if I have only one right, like leasing it out or living in that house. So the carved out responsibility or a carved out rights. So that is called as property. Okay. The term property signifies the subject matter on which the right of ownership or any less right carved out of ownership is exercised. So if I'm a owner, I can access all these things. If I taken this house on a lease, but I can live there, that is my right. I can live, but I cannot sell it, right? If I'm on a rental basis there. So that is what is property. Section 2C of Benami Transactions Act 1988 defines property as any property of any kind, whether movable, immovable, tangible, intangible, and includes rights and interest in such properties. So it clearly says property under Benami Transaction Act. Okay, this is not a general definition of a property. Under Benami Transaction Act, property they defined for that act purpose. Property means it includes any kind of property, whether it is a movable, immovable, tangible, or intangible, and not only that, any rights or interest. For example, house is owned by B, the house is owned by A, sorry, but A assigns some rights to B, so B can collect the rent. So who is the owner here? A. B is a brother of A or who is someone else, but B says that, sorry, A says that B can collect rent on behalf of A always. So this kind of right, this is all called as property. So simply, if we can say that property is one which can be owned by individual, corporation, or any legal person. Any asset which is owned by individual, corporation, or a legal person and enjoy, most importantly, end-to-end rights related to the property. Okay, they should enjoy end-to-end rights related to property or anything carved out of this. What are those end-to-end rights? As I told earlier, sell, improve, lease, earning from that asset, or a destroying of the asset. Okay, and these properties are classified into tangible property and intangible property. Tangible properties are typically physical assets, whereas intangible properties are non-physical assets. So tangible properties which we can see or touch, we can sense it, right? So those are called tangible properties. Tangible properties further broken into two categories. One is movable assets and non-movable assets. What are those? Movable asset means which can be moved from, which can be transferred from one place to other. So I have a vehicle, I can leave it here or I can take it to a point A and point B. Anytime I can move it. Same way machinery or a furniture. Those all are movable assets. And non-movable assets includes land and building or any erections which is done on a land. So which cannot be moved from one place to other place. Moving on, intangible properties are non-physical assets, but they will be having monetary values. Tangible, there will be monetary value, and then these are physical. Intangible, no physical, but they also have monetary value. The best example for intangible asset is goodwill. Okay, so we go and buy some reputed brands because we believe that the brand is a quality material, they sell quality material. So that goodwill is built based on number of year experience or a number of year people are buying that particular product. Okay, these intangible assets will have potential revenue generation capacity. There is no physical asset. Okay, the goodwill is not a physical asset, it is only a reputation, but it will help in revenue generating capability or it help in improving the revenue generating capability of a firm. Intangible property can be of two types. One is industrial property and the second one is non-industrial property. Industrial property is basically concerned with the factory, any innovations or any improvements we do in a factory or a business. And the non-industrial property is concerned with artistic work or a human skills. Like artistic work, the art made by a person or a book written by an author, all these will fall under non-industrial categories. Sorry, non-industrial properties. So IPR, intellectual property rights, deals with, one point to remember is IPR deals with intangible properties. Okay, IPR deals with intangible properties, but this we will discuss later in detail. So to put a summary here, what is property? Property means anything which is owned by individual, company, or any legal person, correct? And having end-to-end right. So the property can be tangible or intangible. Tangible, which is having a physical existence. This is no physical existence. Here also the monetary value will be there. There also monetary value will be there. And tangible properties further broken down into movable and immovable properties. Movable, which can be moved from one place to other. Say example, machineries, furniture, etc. Immovable properties which cannot be moved, land, building, or any machinery attached to this land. Intangible properties further classified into industrial properties and non-industrial properties. Industrial properties related to factory or business, and non-industrial properties deals with artistic or human skills. With this, we are I'm done with the concept of property here, and in the next class we will discuss about what actually the intellectual property is, and then what are the various forms of intellectual property. Thank you.